So I don't think anybody fully prepares for the day they get that phone call. Our social worker gave us a call, ran home, grabbed Greg, we jumped in the car. We're driving off to San Jose, where our birth mother had given birth just 2 hours before, and Greg looked over and said, so that's when he said to us that we had a little girl. And our social worker arrived. She had just flown back from LA the night before, and she stayed with us the whole day until until her lawyer came down and said, "Hey, dads."
I don't think anything touches a family as deeply and as profoundly as adopting a child.
My life is so enriched by having Adopt be part of it, and it's not just having the family that I wanted, it's the whole experience.
And what set Adopt apart was at that initial meeting, they looked at us and they heard all of the stories that we had and all the fears that we had that we wouldn't maybe be a good candidate for adoption, and they just said okay. And they opened their arms to us.
But I never felt that I was going to be judged by anyone at Adopt.
Being a non-traditional family, and we wanted to find an agency that was open to all family types, everybody who makes up a family today, single mothers, single fathers, gay families, straight families, everything that defines an American family today.
I was super concerned about who would represent the birth parents, because I could see how this works, right? We work with an adoption agency or an attorney, we pay the fees, we're the ones that are looking for a child. The whole system seems to be skewed towards us.
We wanted to find an agency that serviced the entire line of people in the adoption process. So it didn't place us first, but placed the baby and the birth parents on equal footing with the adoptive parents. And that's what we found in Adopt.
One of the things that's really important that I imagine people don't really think about is that the people are nice.
There's never a time that I need to talk to them that they aren't immediately available or checking in proactively to see how things are going.
They're nice to work with, they're friendly, they're easygoing, they're thoughtful, they're intelligent, they're dedicated. They're a special group of people who really care about what they're doing. And the thing with adoption is it doesn't just touch the individual.
One of the best things that Adopt does, I think, is continue to support the birth mothers and birth fathers after the process.
I feel like the more people that are in my son's life and love him, the better.
Adoption is a lifelong process.
It's not like the adoption's a final event where the legal process goes through and that's it, you're on your own.
It is a process that goes from way before an adoption starts to way after and through a lifetime of support.
And we know that we can call our friends at Adopt and they'll give us the advice we need because they've been through it hundreds and hundreds of times before.
The fees only cover a small part of that kind of service.
When you're going to use the agency, you pay your money for the adoption services and you think that's great, it gets us the child, but there's so much more to it than that, and Adopt needs to be able to keep providing those services for years and years.
It's important to me to support this agency because this agency in particular, is leading what it means to have an open adoption. It's leading the way, the concept of open adoption, which isn't happening everywhere in this country and it isn't happening everywhere in the world. You know, it's the single most important thing in our life. And if I can give $15 a month to NPR, I can give $15 a month to the single most important thing in my life.
Small organisations like Adopt aren't heavily subsidised by government, by religious organisations. They don't receive that additional sort of support. So most of their funding either comes from those families seeking to adopt or friends and family, small organisations that make financial contributions to offset the cost of running the agency.
And I think that's why we feel that we should be involved in fundraising for Adopt.
We really feel like we want to continue making that a part of our own philanthropy, that we want to support We want to encourage others to support an agency like Adopt,
But we get more than we give, I find.
because they're doing great work and they shouldn't be spending their days fundraising.
Adoption is actually one of the very few things that you can give to that is around the central and most vital and important things in your life. Your children, your family, the things that you always have hoped and dreamed to build.
I wasn't prepared for how much I'd love this little guy. And by supporting Adopt, you're giving a lot of other people the opportunity to experience that same thing. Maybe people who can't have children themselves still get the joy of building a family. It's the greatest thing.